Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Huh? So come get some. CromCon.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 7th and 8th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline Comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish, they're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kaalberg, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham. Join us each Wednesday nights as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Hello, everybody. I am filling in tonight for Roland. He's in the midst of driving through a hurricane at the moment. He's on his way home from visiting his mom, so I'm filling in tonight. If our audience doesn't know who I am, my name is Barb Kaalberg. I've been a comic book inker for 35 years for just about everybody under the sun. The last 5 years, I've also been a writer and a colorist. My creation for Silverline is Divinity, which we will be touching on tonight. And I'm also the CFO of Silverline. So I count the pennies. So, Mike, would you like to introduce yourself quickly?
Howdy, everybody. How's everybody doing this Sunday?
Oh, that was quick.
Hey, I'm quick. I get to the point.
That's right. That's right. Tommy.
Howdy do, Thomas Flormonti. Yeah, Barb, we don't go through all the intro stuff. We just say, hey, and then we just get rolling.
Oh, well, yeah, everybody's used to you, though. I'm kind of a newbie on here.
People know who we are.
Yes. Well, Tommy usually does a Flormonti flyby on Wednesday nights.
On the Wednesday, yep.
Yeah.
I was trying to get Roland to join in. He could just jump in. All he's got to do is click the link button and do like I do all the time when I'm after bike riding on Wednesday. When I join y'all's show, I'm doing it from the car. He could do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I once in a while I'll jump in from Iowa when I'm back there on my phone. So
easy
come
breezy.
on, Roland. Come on.
What's he doing? He's just driving.
No kidding.
It's easy. Just hold the phone up and talk and drive.
As long as there's connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got data.
Right. He's got data.
Right. Yeah, but hurricane.
Well,
we'll see.
It's not much of one at the moment.
Good.
Typical Florida weather.
Well, hopefully it'll just peter out.
Yeah, I don't even
Yep.
think it's a Cat 1 yet. I think it's still just
I thought
it's
it
right there
was.
on the edge of being a Category 1, but it's
Is
it's
it
out
getting
in
bigger or
adult
smaller?
at the moment.
Hey, Logan.
Hi, Logan.
Yo,
So we're gonna touch on my Kickstarter or my Kickstarter. Sorry, my Fund My Comics.
oh
just
yeah,
rolls off
see,
the
you're
tongue.
bad as I am. I can't. I say it all the time.
Can't keep them
I
straight.
know.
There you go.
Here we are.
We're
Thank
on the
you.
last 3 days of the crowdfunder for Divinity. For those of you who don't know, Divinity is my creation, and it's about an 11-year-old girl whose parents have died mysteriously and under weird circumstances. Her older brother, by 13 years, Zach, who's a Marine, gets a hardship discharge because he's their only living relative, comes home very resentful because he had meant to make the Marines his life, and starts snooping around into why his father and stepmother are dead, and he discovers that his little sister is hiding a big secret that she can heal with a touch. And everything goes to hell in a handbasket after that because the word has gotten out from her Weasley neighbor who's been spying on her, and he sold her out to the mob, basically. So there are people after her, and they go on the run. It's basically a road show. It's like Supernatural meets Firestarter, except she heals instead of or like The Fugitive meets the Firestarter. She heals instead of starts fires. And one of my editors is sitting right here, Tom Mason.
Oh, hi.
And my letterer, Mike Belcher, is also here. So say hi, folks. We ask you to go check it out. We've got a little ways to go yet, about $350 to meet our goal. And I would very, very, very much appreciate if you would just check it out.
Definitely worth your time. And as the person who lettered it, I know the story. I think you guys landed it well.
Thank you.
You do. It's a good ending for a 4th issue, and it sets up everything
Absolutely.
for the next one.
Yeah.
For the next one, which
You can also get
Tom is
the
helping.
issues 1, 2, and 3 if you haven't picked them up already. Also,
Yes, I know. I shared it to there's 48 Facebook groups that I have shared it to. I try to do one, like half of them one day and then half of them the next day, so I don't overwhelm everybody all at once.
Also, Facebook
yes.
will come after you if you share too many.
Oh, really?
yeah, because it's
You're a bot.
spam at that
Yeah,
point.
and it helps. One of the things I've come to understand is it helps to not put the link in the post, but put the link in the first comment.
Yep.
Oh, I have heard that, and then I've heard other people say that's a myth, but I don't know what to believe.
Well, I've heard people with so not sort of internet troll type people, but actual big name people say that
I could call Zuckerberg and ask him.
Let's do that. I've got it.
Yeah, you got him on Rotodial.
I got him. He's my second number on my speed dial.
Who's that?
Zuckerberg.
Oh, Zuckerberg. Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Well,
he
yeah.
just told me yes. That's what he said.
It's if he's talking to Tommy, it's got to be true.
Well, absolutely. Everything Tommy says is true. Do you know, I seem to recall the first Divinity
Oh
Kickstarter.
no, golly. Are we doing this again?
Yes, because you have not coughed up. He said that if we went over 7,000, that he would do a pole dance and record it and put it on TikTok. He has not
I
done
meant
that.
of the whole series. If the whole series gets done, that's what we're talking about. So, at the end of this one, then that's when I'm supposed to do the dance.
And that's sound like moving the goalpost to you.
Yes.
I paid him $5 to not do a pole dance and record it.
He still
That's
owes
what we
me the
just-
pole dance. I'm the one that he promised the pole dance to, so I'm calling that I want to bring that marker in.
Well, or was it a pole dance or was it a twerking dance? I can't remember.
No, it was a pole dance.
No.
Got your high heels on?
I'm a
I'm
big
sure
guy. I
you're
gotta find a
pulling the
pole
gut.
that'll hold me up.
You're in Florida. I'm sure there's one down there.
Somewhere in Florida, there's a pole, I'm sure. Tom, you just
Yes.
got back from San Diego Comic-Con. Your thoughts?
I did.
Do
I had a great
tell.
time.
I missed it, so tell me
You-
all about it.
Well, it's great. So it's still huge as ever.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think if attendance is down, it may be down by like 5,000 or so, but it's just huge. And
Wow.
I think it still sort of feels like it's getting back on its feet post COVID. Like they're still sort of. I mean, they've got.
Is it really post-COVID? Isn't that what they changed
no, I
the
don't
name of it, right?
Because
I didn't even go when I got it, so I don't know.
it seems like 1 million people caught COVID who went there.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that what they were making fun? It was the SDCC instead of like Comic Con. They were calling it COVID Con.
COVID Con.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't.
Everybody I saw on Facebook that had just returned is like, oh, guess what?
Yeah, I
guys?
know.
have to
That
do
was
this."
like 15, 20 people that I knew that went to it. They
Oh,
all
when you got
came
a
back.
million people there, what do you expect? I like to know how many people had colds, how many people had stomach bugs.
Except for Tom.
I mean, come on.
I didn't get it. Dave Oberich didn't get it. Chris Alm didn't get it.
Well, that's the
That's because you
Malibu.
guys didn't talk to anybody. You stayed in your own little corner.
That's right. We're in our little bubble, and we. No, I talked to everybody. I ran into Dan Buckley, the president of Marvel Comics. I had a great conversation with him. I had a couple conversations with Sven Larson. I had lunch with Hank Canals. I had drinks. I had drinks with
That's
Maggie
good.
Thompson. I had
Maggie, my gal.
I ran into Bob Wayne.
So you were like one step in front of the COVID wave.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had dinner with Jim Chadwick once, who had just retired from DC.
Yeah,
I sat on a panel with Dan DiDio, and I had a blast. It's California too, because it's all bright and shiny, and you step outside the convention center and the sun is out, and there's a tons of places to go. And I bought some great stuff.
Oh yeah, show us. Yeah, Maggie's awesome. She's a fellow Wisconsinite. So
Yeah, no, she's.
Try to
So
hook up.
I picked up the new Big Barda graphic novel.
Ooh.
I met Alex Segura, and I got a signed copy of his new book Alter Ego,
Oh.
which is set in the comics industry. It's a murder mystery.
Sweet.
That's good.
I got the new EC Comics relaunch title.
Oh
that's
my.
Mhm.
That's from the Abyss. That looks great.
Interesting.
So EC's, I did not hear this. EC is relaunched.
Yes, through Oni Press and Lion Forge.
Oh, cool.
And I got the Mushroom People, or the Mushroom Knight, which won an Eisner Award. And let's see.
Who does that?
I picked up a bunch of Image stuff. I got the Cosmic Detective. I got Space Mullet, which is hysterical.
Like the name.
I picked up Kaya, which looks great. Somebody's going to make that into an animated feature, I think, or I hope. And then I think this is called Knights, which looks really awesome. The art is terrific, and that's generally why I will plunk down my money.
I am absolutely obsessed now with Space Mullet. So I'm gonna have to look that
Yeah,
up.
I know.
It's
Just the name
great.
alone has got me.
I couldn't stop laughing at the title, and then I was talking to the clerk at the Image booth, and they were telling me all about it, and I just like, okay, I'm in.
Sold. Take my money.
Here's my $17 or whatever.
Uh,
So I thought it was great. There was still Hall H excitement, and that still sucked some of the energy out of the room on Saturday.
yeah.
But it wasn't as bad as the peak Hall H years.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And all the big vendors were still there, and the people that I talked to said that sales were still good.
Really?
So people still had the money that they brought to the show and wanted to spend. So I sort of think it's like Disneyland. If that's your, regardless of the economy, regardless of how much money you have, if you're going to Disneyland, you have that money, and if you're going to San Diego, you bring your San Diego money.
I haven't been back since the 25th anniversary of Malibu.
Oh,
That year.
well, there you go.
I know, but it's just, oh my God, there's so many people now. You can't even find your friends anymore. Used to be in the old days. And I remember before it moved to the convention center when it was still in the Civic Center.
All right.
You could just walk up to a booth and, hey, hi, how are you doing? You could find everybody. You could see everybody in the room. You know.
Well, you still. I mean, the people that I know are still in the same booths that they've always been. So I know where to look. I know where to find Randy Ronaldo. I know where to find Andrew Peapoy. I know where to find
Tim Bradstreet. I always find him.
But I know where Terry Dodson is. I know where Aaron Lepresti is. I run through Artist Alley. I met Joe Duffy, who I'd never met before. I saw Jerry Conway. It's a fantastic show. I'm gonna go every year until I die. That's my.
I miss the private parties. That's what I miss.
Well, that's where you get all the COVID.
That's true. And the dead dog party. The dead dog party was always fantastic. I always
they don't do that. They don't do that anymore because Bob Chapman sort of semi-retired.
That's too bad.
And he doesn't put it on anymore. But I can't remember. I think somebody else picked it up and does it, but I think it's still like secret invitation only. You know.
Oh,
I was always able to
get in.
Right.
To wangle
there are a couple of parties like that. DC had a big party for its freelancers, which was invitation only. And
were they there? Did they have a booth? DC.
Well, they have a little booth.
Yeah.
So I think they did it this year. I know they did it last year. They make a deal with McFarlane Toys, where they basically have a DC booth, but and they share the cost with McFarlane Toys, and the McFarlane Toys sells their DC figures at the booth because they're pretty high end. And that's the only way that DC corporate will sort of fund the booth if they can prove that it pays for itself. They won't have a standard comic book booth anymore.
DC Comics has to share a booth.
Well, it's not a decision. It's not a decision by the people that work for DC. It's a decision by the people that work at Warner Discovery.
The corporate,
true corporate, the bean counter.
You can run into the DC people, and they all would love to have their old booth back.
Mm-hmm.
So does it still take you like about an hour and a half to walk from one end to the other because it's so packed? Yeah.
Well, especially if you're like me and you want to stop and you want to talk to people and you want to look at new comics, because I think we've talked about this before. I have like 4 or 5 main goals, which is I want to see people that I know and I want to talk to them, and find out what they're doing, and also not block traffic. But I also want to find like the new thing. I want to find a comic that I haven't seen before or heard of before, or a creator I haven't heard of before, and I want to see what they're doing. And so that takes some time because there's always like 2 or 3 people, or even publishers, where you just go, I didn't even know about this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll do that. And then there's a bunch of comics that came out in the last year that I just completely missed.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, and then they came out from big publishers like Space Mullet. I would have picked that up in a heartbeat from a store, but I never saw it. It came out like last year.
I think I really got turned off when they started having to do a lottery for the hotels. That just
that's so frustrating.
Because I always stayed at the Horton Grand, and I loved it. I went there every single year. I loved the little bar, and then all of a sudden you have to have a lottery to find a place to stay.
Yeah.
No, that's awful. And that's one of the things that the convention people are fighting with the city of San Diego to try to make them stop jacking up the prices so much and screwing around with the reservations.
Yeah.
Because it makes it, lots of people won't go anymore because of that. I don't go anymore because of that.
You have to go through a portal to get tickets, and I'm too old to jump through all those hoops. I just don't like it. I used to call the hotel, make a reservation for the plane, get on the plane, go. I was a pro, so I just I got a pro badge. That was it. Now it's all these things you got to go through, and I'm just not up for that. It's too many people, and 175,000 people. It's a little claustrophobic.
Yeah, and it just takes. You go to a normal show and you're worn out a day or two afterwards. This takes like a week or two to get over.
It's the industry Olympics. You gotta train. You gotta prepare. You gotta be.
Yeah, you gotta pace yourself.
You gotta be in shape.
Yeah, and it's so expensive to go and set up, and I just don't. I don't know how. Unless you're just the star of the week. How do you make any of your money back?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think, you know,
You're not going there to make. You're just trying to get seen.
yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's worth it if you're like Randy Ronaldo sets up and he has a booth, but he's been there for, 20 plus years or whatever.
Decades.
Yeah, decades. And he publishes one book a year and it comes out right before the con, and and so he goes and he's got 25 issues worth of back issues. So I think he builds his brand or whatever.
He's a great guy too.
He's
Yeah.
And so but I don't, he's got a regular job.
Right.
Like his like almost all of us, his comics don't pay him enough to stay home and make comics all day.
No.
And so I don't think it's worth it, small publishers to go and set up if you're thinking about making your money back.
Yeah. That's why I'm pretty much
seen.
These days I stick to doing local shows within a 4-hour drive of Madison, because
sharing my
those shows,
by the way.
Yeah.
I'm sharing my coloring, by the way. I realize I'm just working.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Cool.
It's a truck.
Truck.
I'd
That truck
rather
doesn't
be
have any front wheels.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just kind of going to disappear into the ethos.
I'd rather be a big fish in a small
talk to that
pond.
person.
Is this Cat and Mouse?
Yes. Cat and Mouse Vipers.
And who's penciling that? And inking?
So we have, if I know right now. I have, let's see if I can remember who did the pencils. I don't remember right now because I'm a jerk. I have COVID, I'm sorry. I've been not thinking too quickly.
Well, I know Jose's inking it, right?
Yes.
I put you on the spot, sorry.
It's well, it's someone I don't know, that's why.
A newbie?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Jose's inking it, so I'm going to get on to him about not putting that front wheel in for the penciler that left it out.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah. Because he needed to put a front wheel on there. What's he
because
doing?
it's the inker's responsibility to fix stuff like that.
You're supposed to fix something. It doesn't even look like it's got the front end of the truck.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Here's the deal. When you have something
you could just clone it.
That is on the far left side, you have all of these things that are gonna be more important in the middle, and this is kind of like a border shot. So let me back up and show you. See, it might even be off the crop.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
It might even be cropped off. It's so close to the edge there, that's probably bleed.
That would mean that those Kablam people would have to crop a whole lot, because I don't think that's more than an eighth of an inch of trim over there on that side there.
Well, there's a little. I'm saying it could be a little bit, just blurred to white, and you wouldn't care.
Come on.
And
there's no driveway into the garage.
Do you know, I have just started. How much are you going to critique before I get done with it?
So you're saying you are going to fix that tire? All right, I'm good. Then.
Geekmen,
I'm not going to fix the tire. No, the tire is not getting fixed at all.
So you're not paid to be drawing stuff.
Well, I'm not paid to be drawing stuff, but more importantly, I'm not paid to change things like that.
Oh, okay.
Because
Geekmen,
the approval came from somewhere else.
Oh, there you go.
That's right.
All right.
Geekmen, the key words to private parties were free food and free drinks. So yes, you want to go to private parties. Yes.
Also, the professional comic book creators' favorite words are open bar.
That's and free food.
And free food.
And free food. That's right. They coined the term starving artist for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I usually, and I mean, we're talking like 30 years ago. Okay. So don't look at me now and judge, but I could usually wangle free meals for every meal.
Well, it was a better industry for some of us back in the 90s because DC, Marvel, Diamond, Capital City, and some of the others all had expense accounts.
That's right. And they would take out all the...
And they had been convinced that it was their job to take creators out to lunch or dinner.
That's right.
As part of doing business. And so I really miss those days.
Me too. Maggie used to take me out for breakfast every morning. And then whoever would go lunch and supper, you know, whether it was Innovation or Malibu or DC or Marvel or whoever, I'd end up going out to supper or something. I rarely ever had to buy food.
Because Malibu used to host a Saturday dinner for the creators who were at the show. And that was always a blast. And I know DC and Marvel would take creators out on a regular basis, usually, and not just like one or two, but usually like 6 or 8 or 9 at a time. If you could get a table. So
almost always.
So even if you weren't, it was a great way to meet people and a great way to make friends and a great way to network and a great way to actually have conversations with people not on the floor.
That's right. Some of my best conversations at San Diego Comic-Con had nothing to do with comics. And everything to do about just like real life. The very first time I ever met Bernie Wrightson, I did not know who he was. He later became one of my best friends. And the reason that we clicked so well was because I met this guy at a Star Reach party. I was being courted, which I never did take them up on the offer to become my agent. And there was this guy out on the balcony, and we were killing a bottle of wine, and he was from New York State, and he had kids the same age as mine, and we started talking about school boards and property taxes. And we must have talked for over an hour, and it was nothing about comics. It was all about raising kids and property taxes and just stuff like that. At the end of the hour, I said, well, I suppose I should introduce myself. My name's Barb Kaalberg. And he goes, my name's Bernie Wrightson. I'm like, I know that name. Yeah. Yeah, I said, I'm sorry to say, but the only thing
and
I have here is
you immediately went, oh, Frankenstein guy. I know you. I know you.
I said, the only thing I have of yours is your Frankenstein book. He goes, well, if you have to have something in mind, that's what I prefer you to have. And after that, we anytime we were at a convention together, we always went out. You know, just and at one point, my daughter dated his son. So, you know, wow. He was a genius. Kelly Jones is equally a great guy. Yeah, that was the whole group of those guys were something else. Now I'm dating myself, though. You know.
Mike, have you ever been to the San Diego Comic-Con?
No, and I don't believe I ever will. I think it's a little too big of a crowd for me.
It's
a little daunting just to see.
You got to go once for sure. It's a thing. That's for darn sure.
Yeah.
How many times have you been, Tommy?
Me? 8, 9, 10 times. Not a ton, but a good many to go. You know, if I miss it again, then I'm okay.
Right.
Now, if I needed, you know, if I was promoting something and I needed to go and the publisher needed me to go to do something, of course I would go. But for myself, I was like, I'd rather just go to some small shows and I enjoy myself a whole lot better and not be exhausted for 2 or 3 weeks afterwards. But yeah, if a publisher needed me to go, for sure I can go. Absolutely. Yeah.
I've been over a dozen, less than 20.
Yeah.
Oh, and if I had to go out again, it would have to be for a good reason.
It's a mess. It's really cool, though. I mean, it's neat. It's so neat, but it's so huge.
I've been to like 30 of them, and I'm going again next year.
Of course.
That's where
it's my
sat down.
It's my people. It's my big. Like I like the New York show, but the New York show is still. It has that sort of. It's in October, and it has the Javits Center looks like it was built with mob money. It looks sort of like this giant gulag, and it doesn't. It's
everywhere you go, you got to shake people's hand with money in your palm when you palm the money off to somebody. Okay.
But you I mean, you see everybody because all the East Coast people are there. So it's great. It's great to see everybody, and it's great to get back into the New York mood of things. But the California show in San Diego is just, it's so bright and shiny, and everybody's happy. The food's
and then
great.
right across the way, what's that called? The something district. What's it called?
The Gas Lamp.
Yeah, I guess they have great food, all kind of really good
it's
stuff.
excellent
No, I
food.
always had a great time, but it's like, oh, just so I'm getting
Oh, yeah,
tired just thinking about going.
You really want to go on somebody's expense account or go to promote like some really big thing.
Yeah.
So, or you can also get a tattoo still if you want to. There's a tattoo place downtown.
Well, they do tattoos in the show. Why am I going to go downtown? Just all the people and all the networking and stuff. You know, that's a good enough reason to go. It's so exhausting.
I made the huge mistake of, well, I told you that one of my daughter dated Bernie's son. Well, so I took her with me one year because I wanted to hang out. And I made the absolute mistake of taking her to Tijuana.
Oh.
She was 16.
Oh, you want to go there?
Mexico?
I like Tijuana.
Yes.
She's still there?
Recently.
She could have been because she hadn't been in over the border 2 minutes when she got her first marriage proposal.
Oh.
And it was just one constant stream of marriage proposals after that. And I told her, I says, all right, we're going to cross the border. Do not, under any circumstance, give anybody any money. You're going to get beggars. Don't give her your money. Okay, I won't. Oh my God, she hadn't been over 30 seconds when the little kids descended on her and she starts giving out change. And it was like piranhas on raw meat. It was horrible. I was like, I told you not to do that.
Roland broke his leg before you get to Tijuana.
What?
Broke his arm. I forget which one.
His arm, I think it was. Yeah.
It was his arm. Yeah.
Oh, tell.
He has to tell it. It's his story.
Oh, his story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
If only he would join. Oh, he's
yes.
Yep. If only he would join.
I think we know where we fit into Roland's life.
Yes. And for those of you who are confused, because this says the Divinity closeout party, it's not.
No, there's still a few days to go. This is
Divinity reminder party.
Exactly.
Yeah, we should have called it the reminder party. Originally, we had intended to close it out on the 3rd, and then somewhere along the line, we changed it to the 7th, so that I could close it out on my Wednesday night show. So it's actually Wednesday night is the end of Divinity. But please go to the link.
Can you pull up the page and show people what some of the stuff is? Because there's all kind of great art in the metallic covers. And
well, before we leave though, we should look at how Roberta put in the driveway.
Oh,
yeah, because you took care of him. You still didn't put that front tire in though. I noticed
it's getting cropped.
See, you don't need it.
I like how it's blurred, so it kind of looks like maybe it should be there, but it kind of blurred out.
Not important.
Golly, Roberta.
It's gonna get cropped.
No, it's not. That's not even close enough to get cropped. I mean, I know the people that are printing it. I can tell you.
Well, anyway, I like the way the driveway got put in.
Yeah, just enough.
Yeah, there you go.
A taste of driveway.
That's
right.
right.
The Tom Petty album.
All right, Roberta, I'm going to kick you off here so I can go to the webpage.
Go for it.
All right, there we go. And we're going to add this to the stage. This is the Divinity page. And
look at the pretty colors.
Yes. I don't know if, look at this. Look at this foil cover. Isn't that outstanding? Tommy, you did a magnificent job on that.
You know, what I think is really cool, that whoever's hand that is, it's a nice hand.
Well manicured.
I think he bites his fingernails is what he does.
Yes.
Looks like he's done that before.
Divinity's healing power is what everyone wants. With divinity in the hands of an unscrupulous foe, who is Mr. Pinter, by the way, is his name. Zach fights for his life and gets help from an unexpected friend, which is Olivia. And the infamous Mr. E is the bad guy who's trying to to take her from Pinter. But there's a lot of backstabbing. There's some betrayal. As you can see here in the first few pages here, she's in this huge mansion, and things do not go easily or as expected. They run into some problems, and they have to figure out how to survive the whole ordeal. Now, this is some of the original art that's for sale. The Kevin West cover, this one right here, has sold, but
that's a nice cover.
I'm not positive.
I don't think the cover that Dean Zachary and I did, it still hadn't sold. I can't believe that thing hadn't sold. That's
which one is it?
Keep going.
Well, this one here is Rick Hoberg did this for me, and this is still available. Rick
that's
a nice 11 by 17 pinup. This is the Zachary Floramonti cover, and this is absolutely gorgeous.
I would have thought it would have went the last.
I don't know why it's still out there, because this is an absolutely prime piece of artwork.
I'll tell you what, guys. How much is it? Well, we got it for
150.
If because I'm going to get that piece back this time. If so, it's going to cost you $200 to buy it from me at a show. So go ahead and get it now at $150 and be done with it. Otherwise, I'm charging you more.
There you go.
Yeah. And keeping the money.
The money won't go to the Kickstarter.
That's right.
It'll go to my e-bike money. There you go.
This is the pencils for Jose's cover. So this is one of the covers. And this is a piece of artwork from Ken Hooper. Used to be my penciler for DC. He used to do Aquaman. We'd work graphics together. We've done a lot of work together, and he's got a little bit of gray wash in there. This was also one of my covers for issue number 3. Mm-hmm. It's all, he did the inks and everything, and it's gorgeous.
That's like a movie poster. That's really cool.
Yeah,
it is. He's very much into the Art Nouveau type of style. He likes to throw that little Art Nouveau touch in there. And we've got some pencils. These are from my first penciler, Alex Sarabia. And these pencils are a really decent price, $50 for pencils, for original pencils, and $75 for the inks, which is these are my inks.
The comic.
Yeah, and you get the comics too. These are my inks. More of my inks, and more of Alex.
Oh, that's a nice page.
Yeah, it is. You should see this one here, colored. Sweet. The
now that car has a front tire.
Yep. Oh,
Roberta.
Yes. Yes. Like I said, I don't make changes.
She's like, you guys just shut up.
There's a crazy guy with a knife. I mean, everybody needs a crazy guy with a knife in their collection.
You got to have a crazy guy with a knife.
They
go together. It's the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup of crazy people.
That's right.
Yep.
Beautifully drawn motorcycle there.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, who did the pencils on that one? The motorcycle.
That's Alex Sarabia again. I had Alex for the first 3 issues, and then he had something come up that paid better, that he had to bow out for the 4th issue. So I had a couple of old friends of mine, Tim and Pat Kennedy. They used to do Archie. Did a lot of Archie. Had them come on for issue 4. And unfortunately, halfway through the issue, Tim died of cancer.
Oh no.
They were twins. So they've always worked together. So it was very devastating. But Pat stepped up to the plate and finished it himself. So issue number 4, we'll have a memoriam to Tim.
Jeepers.
Sorry. And here we got a little bit of Olivia here. This was one of my favorite pages because she's an ex-Marine, right? And so after she gets out of the Marine, she's working at a road construction site doing the stop sign, which is what they give the women, right? Just like in the old days. Yeah.
Go, don't go.
Yes. Go, don't go. And
well, they also have the walkie-talkie so they can communicate to
they can talk. That's right.
Yeah.
And the site manager makes her an offer, which she turns down. as you can see right here.
What was the offer about? A
I'm
pay
sure
increase?
because
And she
I
said,
can
no,
put you
I
in a
don't want
better-
that pay increase.
Yep. At the dollar. Yeah, the Silverline poster. This is cool. This has got a lot of our characters.
That's really
on it.
nice.
Yes, it is. It is.
Who did the poster?
This
I
was
know
done by
inked it. That was you
Alex,
inked
isn't it? Gallimore?
Gallimore.
Alex Gallimore. Alex
yeah,
Gallimore did that.
And I
then, of
hear
course,
he might be doing something else with Silverline here. He's
Really?
coming. Yeah, he's freed up some time to come back and do some stuff.
Cool.
I think.
And of course, you can get any Silverline book back issues. So they're all available. Complete
Except
sets.
for the foils. Once the foils are gone from that particular crowdfunding, you can't get it. You can't get it again.
Right.
So yeah, those
In
are
the standard versions. Yeah.
those are just for the crowdfunders.
Yeah.
Those are Fund My Comics exclusives.
Yep. And I just love this cover. Of course, Kevin West did the pencils and inks for the cover, this one, and I just did the colors. Yes, it is fantastic. Love the foil cover too. Yes, well, that's Tommy. That's all Tommy.
It was just the I didn't have anything to do with it. It was all y'all. I just printed it. I meant those guys that Kablam, whoever those guys are. Those guys. We don't know. Nice fellas, those folks.
So as of issue number 5, I took over all the writing. R.A. Jones, when I came into this, I decided when I turned 60 years old that I wanted to expand my horizons and do.
So that'll be in about 7-8 years from now, right?
That's there's still time.
Yeah, that's 5 years ago.
You're still working on it.
I decided that if I was going to ever do anything other than inking, I better get off my ass and do it. So I decided I was going to try to write. Well, I've written my entire life, but there's difference between writing and
writing
scripting.
something that somebody else might want to read. Yeah, I know.
No, writing a scripting a comic book. It's very much like screenwriting. I didn't know what I was doing. So I hooked up with RA, another old friend back from the old days, Malibu days, who's a very experienced writer and script writer. And he started scripting him off completely by himself at first. I would give him the story and the outline and the plot and everything like that. And he would script it. And then as of issue 2, I would do some corrections and do a little bit myself. But by the time I got to issue number 4, this one here, this was the last one he actually scripted. I was doing a lot of it. And as of issue 5, I took over the scripting. However, I'm still, 4 issues does not an expert make. So I run all my scripts past Tom, and he always has fantastic, and Cassisi helps out too.
Oh, Cassisi's notes are really good.
Yes, they are. And Tom and Cassisi tell me what I'm doing wrong. And I learn. It's a learning experience, but it's definitely.
It's a different kind of editing too, because there's the Marvel and DC kind of editing where you're writing to protect the corporate brand. But then there's also independent comics editing where you're trying to protect what you want what the creator wants to say. And you're trying to help them say that either more coherently or better or clearer or whatever, but without
being trite.
Right. And without interfering. It's like,
yeah,
because an independent comic has to sort of break through the noise of the other comics.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think it's up to, it's best if independent creators understand this is going to sound terrible, but understand the position that they're in, which is they have to sort of they can't duplicate Marvel and DC. They have to sort of break out from there.
Correct. And it's very, very, very easy to fall into a trap of being trite and two-dimensional. And you're helping me to see that, because you're pointing out, like, the audience already knows this. Why are you saying it? Oh, I didn't think about that. It's very much a learning experience to me. And it is hard not to fall into those traps. And I've got good people that will pull me out of those traps when I'm making them.
Because I think, and this is one of my weaknesses as well, I've read like thousands of comics. And so it's easy to sort of say, well, Steve Gerber did it this way. Or, Doug Mensch, one of the best writers, he did it this way. It's like, well, yeah, but,
Yeah.
think a little harder.
Yeah. And 99% of the time, I take the advice given. There's the 1% of the time where I put my foot down and say, no, I'm doing this for a reason, this way. But that's very rare. I usually about 99% of the times I make the changes that Cece and Tom tell me I should make. So it's very much of a learning experience. And I taught myself to color too. I didn't start coloring until Roberta. When I first started, I was constantly pestering her with questions.
It was awesome. She learned so much so quick. It's great.
Well, you also have to understand that I've had 35 years of comics industry kind of rotating around in my head,
Yeah, it's all in there.
It's in there. You can pick it up. You just got to apply it,
The hard part is being able to think of it. But
yeah,
you know what you're looking at is right or wrong as you're doing it.
Yeah, that is. And now I've got another story. I've had another story for years. I just got to find somebody to help me.
A different one from Divinity?
Oh yeah, very different. So I don't want to write it by myself though. I'm so overwhelmed. Do
you find that now that you've put your attention to this stuff as your goal, that the ideas are coming faster?
Well, I've had these two on the drawing board for a decade. So, well, not Divinity. Divinity came to me after my brother's cancer diagnosis, but the other one, I've had that one sitting around in a folder for a decade. I just haven't done anything about it. This one seemed more urgent and important to me. So the other one's languishing somewhere.
So that's an interesting statement. What part of the story feels important to you?
The family part and the part where people do desperate things to get healed. They want to save themselves or a loved one. And one of the big reasons that this came to me was, as I said before, my brother was diagnosed with cancer, and my sister and I, we were just like researching the hell out of everything, and we had him on a juicer, drinking healthy juices every day, no salt, no dairy, but we were doing everything. And it had occurred to me that if I were given the chance, I have no morals whatsoever when it came to what I would have done to save him. None. I would have done anything. And that's kind of where this came. What would people do to get their hands on somebody who could heal? It was not a very nice look at myself, morally, ethically.
It's a journey. It's a journey, though, through yourself.
Yeah.
But it's interesting the way that you took it, because Mr. E is the guy with no morals, but he doesn't want to heal necessarily his sick relative. He wants to make money off it.
He wants to make money off of it. No. But it's
so
those desperate
it's interesting
people.
the way you took something personal and you made it, and you made the villain. Basically, you're the villain in terms of motivation, but he just amped it up for power and money.
Mm-hmm. What would I have? I would have sold every last thing I own, the house, everything, if I could have purchased this gal's services.
Right.
And the cabal is really willing to pimp her out and prey upon that very thing. Desperate people, and what they would do to get to have somebody heal either themselves or a loved one.
That's what I like. I know I'm jumping ahead, but that's what I like about the subsequent issue that you're working on, is that you really see who she is.
Yes.
I don't know what I can give away or not give away, so I'm talking in circles. But she's basically nice.
She is. She's going to struggle a bit, and down the road a bit, in the 4 issues after the current one I'm writing, which would be 9 through 12. We're gonna hit on that question: can she raise the dead or not? So, and what the ethical aftermath of that is.
I would raise the dead. There, now I've killed the conversation completely.
Yeah. What would be the consequences?
That, and what condition would they actually be in? Raised.
Good questions.
I think they would be in like Ray Harryhausen monster condition.
So you'd be raising zombies. And,
Yeah.
and that was one of the reasons in the upcoming issue 5 is she's struggling with herself because she's seeing all these possibilities of what her powers can lead to, and she has a nightmare. So that's part of issue number 5, is all the repercussions of this kind of power.
So, movie or TV show?
Me? TV show.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
A road show.
Like The Fugitive, week to week.
Week to week. It's a road show, yeah. And it's got the overarching villain, and then the subplots where they solve problems as they're running on the run.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's perfect for TV. It's not why I wrote it. I didn't write it to sell it to Hollywood, but after I wrote it, I looked at it and like, wow, this is just like ready made.
All right, so here's the question: who would you cast?
Well, when I first wrote it, I based Zach off of Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
Obviously, he's too old now. And the other kids were, I don't remember who I had in mind for Divinity herself. There isn't a whole lot of kids out there that I know of anyway. I don't watch a lot of TV, so I'm not aware. I don't know. Who, do you have any idea? Anybody?
I'm gonna look up a guy here in a second. Let's see. There's the new shoot. No. I think Glenn Powell as the brother, Zach.
Yeah, he's the guy right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He's what?
He's the guy. Glenn Powell is the new hot guy.
Yeah, he's everywhere now. So
I'm gonna have to look him up. We've gone almost all summer without TV just because we've been too busy.
Are you Amish? Are you being punished?
No.
Are you doing Live Like Lincoln for a TV show or something?
I'm worse than Amish. I'm a comic book artist.
Man, I can't live without TV. TV is my warm, glowing friend.
Well,
it never disappoints me. It never lets me down. There's always something.
We're going to have to get off our butts and watch stuff because I just got a 30-day free trial of Apple TVs, and I want to make.
Oh, there's a lot on Apple.
Yeah,
I know.
There's a bunch of good stuff.
Is that the dude from Twisters?
Yes.
Yes.
That's on our 2 watch list. Speaking of which, Tuesday we go to the old people matinee on Tuesdays. You only have to be 60 to get in for $5.
You're not old enough to go yet.
Right. You still got 6 or 7 years before you go.
So Tuesday, I already have my tickets to Deadpool Wolverine.
Oh yeah, we were supposed to go yesterday and we forgot.
You forgot.
Yeah, we just got busy.
Has anybody else seen it?
About 10 o'clock.
I want to see it.
My wife's like, "Weren't we supposed to go to the movies today?" And I'm like,
"What are you seeing?" At the old people matinee.
Oh, me! I was Deadpool Wolverine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Here, love that movie. How about you, Mike? Have you seen it?
I haven't. It's like I told him last week. It kind of has the double. I'm not a Deadpool fan, and I am certainly not a Ryan Reynolds fan. And so it's kind of got the double whammy on me.
Double whammy,
Yeah, because the first Deadpool had Colossus in it, and I really, because people said, well, they really kind of nailed Colossus, even though he was the kind of the butt of the jokes. So I DVR'd it, and I just fast forwarded through all the Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds stuff just to watch the Colossus parts. So I just have a real aversion to Ryan Reynolds.
There you go.
He hasn't done anything to be personal.
You can't like everybody. There's no reason to.
Yeah,
you won't like Free Agent either.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one too. So why, just out of curiosity, what is it about Ryan Reynolds that you don't like? I mean, I certainly have mine.
To be honest with you, just watching a couple things he's in, and it's just kind of like, okay, he's kind of the worst thing about this movie or the TV show, or it's like there was just something about it just kind of turned me off. I can't point one thing. It's a no vote for me when I see Ryan Reynolds in the credits.
I have that same thing about Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I try. I mean, I watch Gladiator because I like everything else about Gladiator, but every time he's on, I could just fast forward that. I don't like him at all. I won't watch the Joker movie either.
Yeah, I don't,
because I don't care about him. I'm out.
I won't watch the Joker movies because they appeal to me not at all.
Well, I'm an old fan, and I have a certain view of the Joker, and
that ain't it.
That's not it.
They're perfectly free. I mean, they can do whatever they want to the Joker. That's fine, and I just vote with my ticket, and I just, I'm not angry about it, but I just won't go.
Yeah.
I cannot stand Will Ferrell.
Oh.
Can't stand it.
That doesn't help.
I don't think he's that great, but I love him. I think he's
yeah.
Won't watch anything with him in it or Jim Carrey.
You don't like his Sherlock Holmes movie?
No. Will not watch Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey. Don't like him.
Land of the Lost.
Jim Carrey's gotten kind of hard lately to watch.
Yeah. Also, he's become a public weirdo, which is like the worst thing you can do as an actor.
Yeah.
Yay, Logan. Yeah.
Logan there.
He's kind of dropped out of Hollywood anyway now lately. All right, so folks, we're about 3 minutes to close, and I'm going to post this again.
Yeah.
What's the link to the site or to the GoFundMe?
Yeah,
Not GoFundMe. Fund my comic. I'll get it right. One of the things. There it is.
It's GoFundMe comic. It's the Irish one.
That's right. Yep.
I think it's still at the top of the Fund My Comic thing too. If you don't know all the rest of it, you can just go there and it's still at the top, I think.
Yeah. So please go check it out. Even if it's not something that appeals to you, share the link with your friends. That's a huge help. That's something that you can do for free to support your indie comic artists, your indie industry. It's just to share the links, So very much appreciate it. George, yes.
That's true.
Yeah, he does have a point.
Yeah.
He does have a point.
Actually, The Truman Show was the last thing I liked him in.
Yeah, he's the same thing in everything. He's kind of like The Rock. I still like him, but he's the same guy in everything he does.
He was pretty decent in The Majestic. I enjoyed The Majestic.
Oh, yeah, the movie, where it's about the movie theater.
Yeah.
It's just like SNL hasn't been good since the 80s, in my opinion.
No, it was good when that Will Ferrell guy was on there. That was fun.
After Farley left, it was dead to me.
He was dead to me. You're dead to me.
Where are the new fat comedians coming from?
They're on Ozempic.
They shamed them out.
That's right. There is no good one anymore. They're all dieting.
And fat is a non-politically correct term. It is well endowed or stout.
Okay. Where are the new stout comedians coming from?
Stout.
Untapped. All righty. So I thank you all for showing up and letting me guest host tonight. I'm trying to find my little patch here. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, folks, for helping me out. I'm usually very poor at hostessing. And I've never seen a single one of these podcasts. I never will. because I won't watch myself, which is sad. But
Well, you're doing fine as a
Okay.
substitute
Mhm.
Roland.
So, as we like to say in a Silverline land, as we sign off, and let me before we do that, I need
Make mine divinity. Oh, sorry.
yeah, there you go. Make mine divinity. I'm
Mhm.
brand. There we
All
go.
right.
You trying to find the closer?
Yes, the stream and the bumper. Yes, as we
That's
like
right.
to say,
Make
mine
mine.
Silverline.
Load my coffee.
Hey, I'm G-Rod. Make mine Silverline. You heard me.
Treasure.